3-inch spacer lift, action van suspension, and Well-Tech. So here they are, all next to each other. Sebastian has the RTZ leveling kit right there. So that's what the RTZ leveling kit looks like next to a 5-inch lift. If you're interested in the RTZ. And then he's running 265 tires.
Alright guys, I got something special for you guys today. You guys want to guess where we're at? I said, do you guys want to guess where we're at? Check it out. Action van suspension, baby. Oh, where am I gonna park? Oh. Ooh, I'm gonna park over there.
Campos Vasquez. Larry says he could lift your van.
We're finishing up the alignment on it, is all we got left on it. It's all pretty much done. So.
Look, Campos, this is what your van could look like. Holy Jesus. That's perfect. That's got more clearance than my van. Really pretty.
Had a lifted van meet about 9 days ago. So the lifted van hype is extra strong on my channel right now. So let's go ahead and keep that rolling. Here's a 2011 E150 Econoline for sale. The E150 is important for this video. $20,000 listed 5 days ago, driven 125,000 miles. It has the 4.6 motor with the recently rebuilt transmission and a brand new radiator, so that's nice. And here's the important part right here. 33-inch tires and an action van suspension lift kit. So Sebastian's Life 91, I will pin his channel in the comments. He was one of the participants to the last van meet. He has an E150 on a RTZ spacer lift, 2.5-inch spacer lift with a bunch of coil spring twist-ins in it. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, E150 lifted on an action van. Looks really good. Let's take a look at this van. So it says $20,000 or make offer $13,000 for this van. $13,000 is the sweet spot for a lifted two-wheel drive van. That's a nice build, a nice van. This is a very nice van. So let's take a quick look at it. So Sebastian's Life 91, he recently drove down to San Clemente to pick up an action van suspension lift kit. He's going to install it in a few days, but this is in your future, buddy. This is a nice van, actually. If anyone could get this van for like 13 to 15 grand, that would be cool. So if you're in the market for a lifted van, a nice lifted van, this one's really nice. Looks good. So Sebastian, I got a confession to make, and I told him this, but I'm gonna tell it to you guys. So Sebastian's Life 91, he's a business owner, so he has a lot of freedom. So one day I message him and say, hey man, you want to do a Hungry Valley run with me? We'll do an impromptu van meet. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So I had some intention with this one. I had a plan. I said, okay, this guy loves lifted vans. He has a cool spacer lift on his, but I want this guy to get a 5-inch lift. So I said, okay, I think if he sees my van in person, that'll sell him on the idea. So Sebastian, he really likes his van. He's towering over most trucks, even trucks with lifts. So he likes the nice ride height. So I said he has to see a lifted van in person, like a 5-inch lifted van with 33s on them. So yeah, he told me the moment he saw my van, he was like, "Yeah, I need to get a lift kit now." And then Larry from Action Van Suspension, he showed up to the last van meet unannounced. And then Sebastian told me he was embarrassed of his van and the lift he had. And Larry, man, Larry's a funny guy. I think Larry read how all our personalities is, and he was he was a cool guy. And here's a lesson of the day on top of the lifted van hype right now. So a couple of days before the impromptu meet, I only announced it like on 3 weeks notice. I got a message from a guy named Rick, and he told me I might make it to your meet, man. So I said, all right, here's my number, let me give me a call or text me if you could make it. So we're at the campground, we're about to hit the trails, I'm setting up the cameras on our vans, and I see a lifted van driving towards us. So the guy pulls into our campground and said, "Is this the Flying J lifted van crew?" I said, "Yeah, man. Are you Rick?" And he said, "No, I'm Larry." I'm like, "Oh, okay, man. Welcome, man. We're about to hit the trail, so we're getting ready." And I call Sebastian. I see the Action Van Suspension decal on this guy's van, and I say, "Yo, Sebastian, check out what this guy has. What lift kit he has," because I know Sebastian is gonna go with Action Van. And then Sebastian said, "That's the kid I'm going to get." And the guy said, "Right on, let me give you my card." And then I put two and two together. Larry, the guy who runs Action Van, is Larry. So I said, "Are you Larry from Action Van Suspension?" And he like nods, yeah. And like, what? It was a surprise. And Larry not only did, because I gave an open invitation to any vendor and said, "Hey, any vendor is welcome to join us. Hey, hand out some hats, some shirts, whatever. Plug your business, show your product off." So not only did Larry pass out free shirts, gave me a Powerade, handed out business cards, he ran trails with us, and he gave us his knowledge, shared his knowledge with us. And he was such a down to earth guy who loved vans, been lifting Econolines for 25 years. And that experience, Sebastian went to Action Van 1 week later to from Santa Barbara to San Clemente. He drove down to Action Van to buy a lift kit from Larry because Larry had treated him so well. And then at when he was in San Clemente, Larry just talked to him for a while. Like I told Sebastian, put up more video. I'll share Sebastian's videos with you here in a second. But here's a message to any van life vendors out there. Do you guys agree with this statement? The people who I talk to here on YouTube, the people interested in participating in these van meets, I feel like we're every bit, if not more, fanatical than Jeep Wrangler. It's a nice van. Than Jeep Wranglers and Toyota Tacoma drivers. There's just not as many of us. Those two markets, they got unlimited options for products out there. We don't. There's literally like two-wheel drive lift kit companies out there. Camberg is like not making Econoline lift kits anymore, so we're down to two. So our experience with Larry, it makes me want to help the guy out more. It makes me want to plug his product. I'm not associated with Larry. I'm not an affiliate. He doesn't sponsor me, but the guy treated us so well, and he has such a good product. Like I've always told you guys, between WeldTech and Action Van Suspension, install versus install, Action Van's about $3,200, WeldTech's about $5,000 install versus install. And if almost $2,000 is going to determine if you get a lift kit or not for your van, go Action Van. I don't think it's the lesser product. I mean, that's just analyzing it. WeldTech might have the edge off-road doing jumps, but Action Van actually, when you look at Action Van, it's riding the stock width of an Econoline. The tires actually stick out. When you look at my WeldTech, the tires are sucked in due to the bent I-beam. So I feel like the Action Van, I've had both kits. The Action Van is more stable on road than the WeldTech, and ride for ride on road, it's the same thing. And at the last van meet, there was a WeldTech, Action Van, and Spacer lifted van, which Sebastian has. We all did the same trails. So it's a big price difference. And just meeting Larry, it makes me want to plug his product even more now. So yeah, we have a small market, and to any vendors out there who want to participate in one of our meets, you're welcome to join us and plug your product and meet a bunch of cool people. So this is what became of it, and a lot of you guys saw how cool Larry was to us, and you guys felt he was really down to earth just to run trails with us. And you guys let me know that you're gonna give Larry a call now and buy his product, which, like, the guy deserves it. He's been lifting these vans for 25 years. They've given us the opportunity to drive vans that look a lot like the Quigley or the U-joint vans, but at the fraction of the price. So really cool experience. And Sebastian, I'm happy for you, man. This is what he was running. He was running this spacer lift right here. And on top of that, and he will be the first to admit, his van doesn't ride very well, and he was kind of embarrassed of it, especially once he saw how much taller the 5-inch lifted vans were. He also ran these twist in coil spacer. Basically, you're twisting it between the coils to give it that extra lift, and he told me his van rides horribly. I cannot wait until you tell me how much nicer your van rides with that action van lift on it, man. I'm happy for you, man. I'm just happy for you that your van's gonna ride so much nicer. It's gonna be a much nicer ride on the road, just because most of our vans spend time on the road. Yeah, we're gonna spend 1% of our time off road, so you're gonna enjoy it, man. I look forward to your videos. Like, once you get that installed, I look forward to seeing how your van looks with that lift on it. Check out Sebastian's channel. He's gonna be another one who could share his experience with these lift kits for these vans, because there's not many of us like sharing real world experiences when it comes to these lifted vans. So I'm glad there's someone else out there who's one of my friends who it's going to be another lifted van guy who's going to be able to share with you guys. So if you guys are in the market for a lift kit or a nice lifted van, buy this one, Offer 13. That's what we're here for, man. We're here for these meets. We're here to have fun. It's a fun group. I hope to see you guys in October for the October van meet. And yeah, if you're in the market for a van, join us. You don't even have to have a van. We had a Corolla at our last van meet. See, you don't need a van to hang out with us. You don't even need a lifted van to hang out with us. You could have a Corolla and hang out with us.